going now.
All right, so
You
what
want
do you
it,
wanna
you-
talk
I mean, it's
about,
Cinder. If he could be on here with anybody, he's gonna say that shit.
I don't mind.
Not wrong.
Cinderan's conversation was useful and
Oh,
relevant.
okay.
This is the
Ted-
good
Can you,
side of this.
can you
Ted
repeat
understand.
anything he said? Were you?
Oh, this is a good quiz.
Because neither of us were.
I can.
Okay.
He was talking about the hypotheticals and how it would go.
All right, I'm
And
already
it's-
bored.
All right.
No.
Okay.
We don't have time.
I can.
Thank you, Ted.
I can
Sorry.
say something. I went to bed and I woke up 2 p.m. and I take a car in here. You guys playing Taylor Swift on the way, which was great. And I get here and that's the same series. It's just the same series. I was on the panel for Team Spirit and Liquid yesterday, and I wake up. It's the same. It's this.
So can you recap what happened?
It's like Groundhog Day.
It's
We're
like-
gonna wake up again tomorrow in Spirit versus Liquid.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a break, and we'll come back
Why?
after that with the first of these tie-break games here on Stream A. See you in a bit.
Terrible, man.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
back. That is Team Spirit, and they will be facing Team Liquid, who you will see in a moment. There they are. And this is the first game that we've got in the tiebreakers that we've had to have here because Group B was just that close. And we couldn't differentiate between who was the bestest, who was the worstest. Well, we knew who the bestest was. But then we needed to know second, third, fourth, and fifth, because fifth place in these tiebreakers, the person who comes last in these tiebreakers, goes into the lower bracket. And that means they're just one series away from leaving Stockholm.
Do you guys remember the idiots that were calling Group A the Group of Death?
I do remember those fools.
What do they know?
I actually said Group B. You can back me up, Cinderin.
No, because he was the one that said Group A. With all this hypothesis and thinking theoretical and this stuff that you're doing with your head.
Too much thinking.
You think too much. Sin?
Okay, question for you. What's the group of death? Is it the closest group or the group with the strongest teams?
Yes.
Okay, neither of those is necessarily... Wait, the closest one is Group B. So you're right, if that was your choice. Okay, so there was a bit of theory crafting before the tournament started. You know, which group's gonna have the stronger teams? A lot of people said Group A. We haven't... I mean... Ted,
What do you want me to do about it?
No, Ted. Why don't we just leave and have a beer?
I would love that, dude.
You could just run the show. What do you think?
Well, I don't think they could run the show. I think they could sit there, and then they would just have to cut away to the games, and they'd still be talking. You come back, they're still talking. That would be what would happen. Let's talk about Team Liquid, because last night we saw a dominant performance over this very team. And we all remember it very well. Alchemist in the second game. I actually saw Blitz tweeted something. He said in the entire time that he's been with Team Liquid, which has been a while now, they've never run out, and he's never even seen Matu play him in a pub game.
Yeah, Matumba himself even said I don't know, I don't think I played it this year.
Right.
But they also said in the interview they felt like they were not playing loose enough. They were a little too, try hard, a little too serious. They're like, let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Let's just have a good time. And that was, they destroyed, so it's clearly working.
They really did. I think that was probably the Bristle Cottle game and then that out game were the best that I've seen them so far in the group stages. Would you concur?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, they started out the tournament not so hot.
I would say that would be an understatement.
Loosen up action.
Yeah.
And now they're in a huge tiebreaker with basically everybody else in the group, Cinderin.
Yeah, and what's important now is they've jumped in last.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a very good way of putting it. Very accurate. They do not want to come last in these tiebreakers. It would undo much of the hard work that they've put into this tournament so far. There is Insania. I think he's been very, very good so far. It's always tough when you lose that first series, which they did, to go 0-2, and then sort of how do you come back from this, mentally strong, all the rest of it. They actually did it. Some teams sort of wobbled up and down, but I think Liquid have really accelerated through this tournament, and I'm going to say it. I fancy them for the whole thing now.
They even lost their first 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Not 3 series, but they were 0-3.
Yeah, yeah.
And they got a draw in that second series. Jenkins.
He is listening.
Are you listening? Okay. Ted.
No.
So-
You can talk to me, or you can talk to him.
Okay.
Would you like to talk?
I have a very clear preference here,
Okay, talk
just
to
in
me.
case there was any
No, I'm listening.
doubt
I'm
about
listening.
that.
I'm listening.
All right. Do you have a favorite for this? You said you think Liquid
I
will win
said
the whole thing.
well,
Do you
I
mean
have-
tournament or the tiebreaker?
I'm saying the whole thing because I
Okay,
think
the whole thing.
I think they're really in a good place.
Okay.
But I haven't seen much of Group A, to be fair. Game and Gladiators do look very good, but I also think that the Liquid have just got that special element.
So there's 4 teams tied with the same score, and we just think they're equally good, roughly, or do we think somebody is clearly going to be better or clearly going to be worse than the tie?
I think we're going to see ties again, Cinderin.
You think it's going to be a retie?
Oh, yeah.
With how many?
Tie.
2 or 3?
4 in a row, baby.
8.
We're going to be
have
here 16 hours, baby.
I'm going to tell you right now, we ain't getting out of here until the heat death of the universe. This is going to go on all night. That's
you're
my
gonna-
prediction.
I hate entropy.
It's going to be an entropic ending.
I thought you were going to say we can't get out of this panel fast enough.
Let's talk about
That's where I
Team
was
Spirit.
going with that, but
Obviously, they did lose 2-0 to Team Liquid last night. That must be fresh in their minds. When you come up against a team, Sind, I'm asking you all the sensible
That's
questions. When you come up
wise
against
choice.
a team, it is, and they do something like picking this ALK that they haven't played in ages and all the rest of it, and they beat you with it, that must be massively affecting your mentality. But you also must think, well, how do we draft around them if they can just pick something random like this that they haven't even played much and still beat us? How demoralizing is that?
I don't know how demoralizing it is, but it's just a testament to Liquid's, player pool. A player like Matsu can pull like any carry here out of the bag if it's the right game for it. So I think if you're Spirit, you just need to be really careful with your last phase bans if Matsu's hero is still in, because now you have that Alk fresh in your memory, but that's just one out of many heroes that could be run.
Right.
So more than anything, I think you try to cover your bases and avoid getting. I don't know if I want to call that Alk a cheese pick even. Like it wasn't really like, haha, you have nothing against Alk. They could have perhaps solved it, but Liquid just played really well.
I'd like to answer this question.
I got a question for you.
I'd like to talk instead
one
of
at a
Jenkins,
time.
please.
Okay.
One at a time.
You pick, Ted.
Shannon, you were first.
Thank
Good
you
choice.
so much.
Good.
What was I
You
gonna
talk
say?
so long that Jenkins doesn't get
Okay,
to say
so I
anything.
remember I was going to say, so they got 2-0'd against Liquid, right? You guys have seen all these comebacks in the lower bracket. Obviously, it's not the exact same situation, but
No.
if you lose against a team and you play them shortly after, you're learning more from those losses than they are from those wins. I actually would pick Team Spirit in a shellacking.
Oh, you're going to say they're
It's a
going
shellacking.
to shellac.
Are we talking Gaben level or Mega Shellac?
Okay,
Probably
wait,
shellac,
Shannon.
average level mega shellac.
Just between Monumental
Between
and
Mega and Monumental.
Yeah, which one of those is higher?
That's a great question.
Okay,
Leave that for
Shannon,
another
follow-up
time.
question. So you say when you learn more from losses than wins, right?
Yes.
Jenkins loses at life every day. When is he going to get a win?
Once he's off this panel, probably.
Okay, that's good. We should help him, I think.
That was
Can I
mean,
escort you out?
May I escort you out, sir?
That's
All right,
my
Jenkins had
panelist.
something
You
to
sit
say?
down. Hands off my
I
panelist.
don't want to say it anymore.
Thanks for coming, Jenkins. It's time for your vitamins now. Come on.
No, I need him. Let's go talk to Tsunami.
I actually
Maybe
hope
he
he
could
stays off.
give us some intel.
What
That's
the
not
hell is
Tsunami. That's Flag. What happened to
hell?
Tsunami?
All right, I got something to say. I got something to say. This is,
We
listen,
got to go talk to Tsunami. Hold
Okay.
that thought.
I'll hold this.
Tsunami, come in. Are you receiving me?
Jenkins, what's your thought? Tell me your thought.
Oh,
No.
you're quiet for me. Let me turn you up. My thought is,
Jenkins, what's your thought?
thank you, Tsunami. I appreciate that. I think Spirit.
Jenkins, what's your thought?
What was that?
Just
Jenkins, what's
talk,
your thought?
man.
Spirit. They've been picking some weird shit. When they're doing when you see a Spirit TI draft, they're winning. They're winning with the collapsed Mars. They're winning with this stuff. It might turn out to be shellacking because
This is the
he doesn't.
worst
he
point
doesn't-
ever.
That's not a bad. All right.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Lord.
Tsunami,
Go ahead,
I didn't
Tsunami.
want to
Go ahead.
pull you up
What's
onto the
up?
screen just so you could listen to Jenkins. Do you
Yeah.
have
Well,
anything to say?
He's our
I mean,
fifth panel
normally,
member.
normally you're supposed to have Slacks around here, but Slacks is actually en route to you guys.
I know he is.
And so I guess I can give you the Slacks experience. We're here, 4 teams behind me. I can't wait to see who's behind door number 1. Oh my God, it's TSM. They fucking hate me. I better get out of here right away. Game number 2. What's here? Get out of the way. I don't care what you're administering right now. I'm more important than everyone.
Interview that camera guy.
I'm gonna pick Collapse Mars again. I saw it on a sheet. Shut up, Jenkins. Number 3.
Oh,
You're awakened. I don't know anything about this team because I don't pay attention to Pro Dota at all. I'm the last one.
Accurate, yeah.
thank you, Tsunami.
It's Liquid. Get out of here. Go.
They cut him off. Slacks is in the control room
Yeah,
cutting him
Flag
off.
pulls the plug.
He just
We're
got
going to go
him.
to a break. We'll be back in a
that's
minute.
good.
Don't go away.
Benny and BBM. What? Yeah, our team spirit against.
Yeah, welcome back. Team Spirit against Team Liquid. Spirit looking for revenge after a 2-0, I'm going to say shellacking. I hope you guys on the council don't mind me using that term last night. I'm not going to say which level, that's obviously not for me to say. But it was a very, very good victory for them. We were talking about Spirit having to come back. Liquid, can they maintain that level? And we're going to have a draft up for you guys in a sec. As soon as they get into it, we'll have that. Oh, there you go. Draft into it.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, we got the burrow into Marana Arrow. Very nice setup, gentlemen. DK, we've been seeing a lot banned.
I feel like the only players that I remember in this tournament playing Mirana, I obviously haven't seen every draft, but has anyone played it aside from Mira and Tim's?
Thunder Predator.
They've also played. Oh, that's true, actually.
They've also played.
Yeah, they've played it too.
Against Spirit, actually. So,
Oh.
taking a bit of a page out of their book. Maybe there's scrims go. Actually, they're not scrimming the same groups. There's no way. Maybe from pre-major.
Dire team back.
DK Hoodwink. Yeah, I mean, two very common openers that we've seen. I think probably DK Hoodwink is the more common opener these days, just because of the Sand King nerfs. Like the hero feels like it just doesn't do quite enough damage to full to zero, especially cores. However, with the Mirana, you definitely have enough damage. Like with the arrow follow-up in the Sandstorm, like it was overkill before, so this combo still definitely works.
There's a couple of Insania supports in the past that he would have loved to play against this when they were good, like Oracle,
Rubik.
Example. Rubik is also a hero Insania plays 5, but I haven't seen him play this patch, I think. He's been sticking very much so to, more standard heroes in that 5 position. Rubik is kind of his specialty, even though he's a 5 player. But I think with the development of the game over the last few months, the laning stage is just... He's been losing too much, I think, in the lanes when he's played Rubik. It hasn't had the impact he was hoping for.
Yeah, that's why he's been undying.
Yeah.
Yeah, although you can't...
It's banned.
Yeah, it's they ban it, even though I feel like Mirana Sand King's pretty decent against Undying. Like he just bodies you and then you kill him.
Is there any flexibility with DK, or is he strictly a 3 these days?
We've had it played as carry, actually, by some teams. Most notably, I think Tundra played it on Skitter in a game where he popped off, but he's not the only one.
Have we seen it mid at all in this tournament?
I want to say yes, but it's probably been the least played role, ironically, for Dragon Knight, has actually been mid, who's historically almost exclusively played there, but yeah, mostly offlane and carry. And the builds are pretty standard most games, right? Even the carry Dragon Knights will still go for the dagger plus Ags, but they will just have more farm and get there faster, and get, a damage item afterwards for the splash effect when they have the Black Dragon form, like AC into perhaps Daedalus or something like that. I think if you're Liquid now, you have...
Team Spirits turn.
They're going to ban out the Storm. This is a hero that a lot of teams have been rating as an overall first phase. I think it's dropped off a little bit. The win rate for the hero actually isn't that good in the tournament. I was expecting this to be a first phase pick coming in, but it seems like the teams have some pretty decent solutions so far. One of those being Dragon Knight, which Liquid obviously overall first phase picked, probably dissuaded Team Spirit from going that direction, but they're still going to ban it regardless for the second phase. It's very open though. It's kind of hard to predict exactly where they're going to go here. The Visage is also another hero that's been picking up steam. Tundra has been owning with this hero.
Yeah, we've
but
seen,
Liquid also
seen
played it.
Visage in a lot more games lately.
I wonder if Spirit takes out the Nature's Prophet next too, just to say like, all right, play something different. Like this is your comfort from the, like past month of picks. Like just
Who is that? Is that Underlord?
that's Underlord.
That's Underlord.
That's Underlord.
That's a weird icon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is just all the Liquid favorites banned out, like their recent favorites.
10 seconds.
Well, we have seen, obviously, that they do have a bunch of heroes that they could be choosing from. Have they just been picking these kind of heroes because, well, this is what's working for us right now? But you were saying they've got a big hero pool, especially like Matu, like you said, you can stick them on pretty much anything. So they're a lot more flexible than some teams, no?
Yeah, I think Liquid have plenty of options. I wouldn't really worry too much. I think sometimes their drafts get maybe a little
There's
bit...
the Prophet ban.
they are going to ban the Prophet and grab.
Ooh,
Shadow-
even more
Shadow
setup
Demon.
for Arrow. Okay.
All right, well,
I love Shadow Demon picked in positions like this, where Disruption is both a good offensive and defensive tool for the lineup. Sometimes teams will pick Shadow Demon only for the save,
Right.
and then it sucks in every situation that you don't need to save someone. But here you have two awesome follow-ups. You have Epicenter Burrow Strike, you have the Arrow, and obviously you have the defensive part of it against Sharpshooter and against the Dragon Tail. So I really like this pick. It's very good here.
It also dissuades Team Liquid from getting a hero that would be very good with illusions.
Or a hero that would be very tanky.
oh, they go for the Lone Druid.
Lone Druid and Kotl, good heavens.
All right.
Has been banned against them quite a bit, the Lone Druid. And obviously they banned the Prophet and the Visage instead. Now the Lone Druid has made
Have they
it
been
through.
playing strictly for Coddle, or have we seen mid?
Liquid have played it on Mickey. At least one game.
10
He
seconds
owned in
remaining.
that game.
That's right, we were casting that
Yep.
game.
That is correct.
So,
But we've seen Insania Kotl as well.
Yep.
okay. So some flexibility then, that's good.
So in the past, this is where Spirit would, or many teams in their position would pick Lifestealer. It's just, I don't know if Lifestealer really has much of a place in most games right now. It feels like maybe a little bit too slow, too exploitable in lane, too punishable overall in the game. But he does have some pretty decent matchups here. Against Lone Druid, Dragon Knight, the Rage is amazing. Against Hoodwink and Coddle, you're one of the carries that doesn't really need to worry too much about Blinding Light. So I could see that being a potential pick. Illusion carries also look decent. Lone Druid doesn't deal with
Yeah,
those
no.
particularly well.
Naga looks pretty solid right now.
Yeah, so I think they're thinking Illusion Carry or Lifestealer, and then last pick the mid hero perhaps. If you want a really specific carry, you should grab it now, because I think Liquid are aiming to ban that position more so than the mid. There's just too many heroes to cover.
This also does look like a pretty sick Batrider game.
Bat's very good too.
Like it's actually one of the highest win rate heroes for Lone Druid, surprisingly. And I was thinking because of DK Hoodwink that you destroy both of these heroes. Hoodwink can't scurry through the trees and escape Batrider. DK obviously has all this physical reduction and regen. Like Bat just chews through him.
You might also be thinking about dealing with the Coddle as well, in which case Ember doesn't look half bad either. You're playing into the Dragon Tail, which can be annoying, but if you play around that properly, I actually think Ember's matchups here are pretty decent. You're one of the heroes that can get to Coddle in the backline. You have amazing setup with chains into Arrow, chains into Sanking Stun. Like all your heroes in pairings of 2 or 3 can just kill together if you're running an Ember here.
How worried would you be about the Lone Druid if you're getting entangled by the bear? Is that a big issue?
For the most part, no. It does limit him in some aspects of fighting. Like you probably, all right, they're going to go for Kunkka. It was another hero that was in a similar vein, right? It's another pairing that just does well in these 2-3 man skirmishes. Great setup for Mirana, Sand King, Shadow Demon, etc. So similar logic. Ember against Lone would have been a little concerning if you get into, just if you're in the middle of the fight trying to deal damage with Flame Guard. You probably can't play Ember that way very well. But playing like as a setup sniper on the outskirts would have been totally fine against Lone. That's not a problem at all.
This is a dope Mirana game. You just run around, no matter what hero you
Yeah.
run into on your team, you have a setup for you.
yeah, that's
Like,
pretty
it's the
nuts.
dream Mirana game.
I think that's when the hero really thrives. To me,
I
it's one of
agree.
the more dependent fours, actually. I think a lot of teams historically have picked this hero without enough options. I think if you're running it, you really want the roaming to work. And Team Spirit have definitely managed to set that up
Is this
well.
a TB game for Spirit? Is he banned?
He is not currently banned. They banned Medusa first, Liquid. Terribly could be a ban.
How bad is Luna these days?
10 seconds.
We saw her in some
You're
of the
thinking
games
'cause-
this morning. She played in some of the the last few games in the group there. Can't remember which side won.
I guess your mind goes to Luna because of SD Luna, right?
SD Luna, yeah.
It's not what it used to be in general. Playing allied hero plus disruption for push. It just doesn't. It isn't as strong anymore, and I don't think it's very good. Excuse me, against Caudle.
Let it out, Cinder.
Caudle can deal with the Shadow Demon illusions very well from the offensive pushing perspective. So
10 seconds.
probably.
Team spirits.
I'm still looking at. I can't believe I'm saying Lifestealer because I don't think the hero's very good, but I
Garbage.
think they have the
Garbage.
lineup that will allow it.
Team
They're gonna ban. Oh, TA would have actually also been really good. I like that ban from Liquid too. Do you remember last night by chance, Jenkins, in the series, who had last pick in their games? Was it 1-1, or did one team have last pick in both series or both games in the series?
Liquid's second to last pick, the
10
Alchemist.
seconds remaining.
I remember.
Right. Okay.
So
I don't think you pick Alk here.
no, no. There's a
There's
lot
Shadow
of
Demon and a
yeah,
lot of stuns.
like Alk looks really good when there are supports that can't chase you around and contest your early jungling, but SD Mirana is just about the best you can ask for.
Yeah. Probably just Mato and Lone Druid, right? And you're looking at, I'm assuming, a mid hero, and you commit Zai to the offlane Dragon Knight. You know more than likely that this is a mid Kunkka. It's not out of the question as safe lane. That's a luxury that Spirit have when picking like this.
I mean, they could also bat on Liquid. It's
Yeah, the Shadow Demon matchup and the Kunkka is a little bit tricky until you get BKB. Once you do, you only need to worry about Demonic Purge.
I mean, the Shadow Demon can banish the last suit target as well,
Yes.
though, right?
the thing with that is, like, I don't feel like that's as much as a counter as it used to be, though. Because
No.
I know that was the counter when Bat was all about the lasso, but now he's just like a damage dealer
Yeah.
with Napalm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not the direction Liquid are going to go here, though. I think they'll go for more of like a Spirit type mid that can catch these enemy heroes instead
Yeah,
of fight. Like Void Spirit is a possibility.
They already have their cheese guy with the Lone Druid, too. Like, it is doubling down to go for a bat. They go for Lich.
Mid Caudle.
That's a mid Caudle.
Yeah. They're running
Wow.
their mid Caudle again. That's a hero Kunkka doesn't beat in lane, I'll tell you that. You're probably not even going to deal damage to Caudle all laning stage if he plays it correctly, so Mickey should be getting very farmed here. Now, Spirit have the option here, of course, of putting the Kunkka safe lane. Now, you can't really beat Caudle in lane with anything, I think. In a 1v1 mid, this hero just can't theoretically lose a lane to any hero in Dota if he plays it correctly, I think.
Just one-shot the wave.
Yeah, like
It's
what are you
very
supposed
easy.
to do? But what you can do is you can try to take advantage of what you've just seen here and maybe put Kunkka safe lane and get a really game-winning mid that benefits more from the levels. Is a possibility. I still think Ember, to me, looks pretty damn good here. Storm would be perfect, but he was banned in the second phase by Liquid, obviously,
Yeah, like
preparing for this.
A backline.
Right.
Oh, there's
Luna.
It's still a,
You
it's still
called
a
it.
Kunkka.
It
All
is
right.
a Luna. Okay.
So Team Spirit have a pretty good mix of damage, I would say, right? But Kunkka and Luna both do hybrid damage. They have both physical and magical components. So I think Liquid's lineup is very much dependent here on getting BKBs. But I think strictly from a drafting perspective, when you're off map, and at the same time, they haven't really sacrificed on the team fighting aspect. They have Sandkin, Kunkka, and Luna. So I really like their lineup.
Shannon?
Team Spirit. When
Okay.
it comes to esports, traditional sports, if you're basically same skill level as somebody and you lose twice in a row, very unlikely you're going to lose third.
Okay, interesting.
That's how I actually
cast.
Our panel seemed to bet on third time's the charm for Team Spirit as they go up against Team Liquid one more time. It's also the third time they're going to be playing a second pick and Radiant side. So they seem to really be sticking to their guns.
It's kind of a cool throwback, and they're looking to take early aggression here.